Well, hi. I'm Chris Brogan. We're going to do the My 3 Words process. I'm going to explain it all to you. Now, here's the thing. I have done this mostly in a blog format, and I've been doing this for years and years. I launched My 3 Words way back in 2006 when I realized a couple things. One, New Year's resolutions just don't seem to work. Do you know that most people, 70-something%, quit their New Year's resolution by January 19th. Number one, New Year's resolutions don't work. Number two, people like to try to pick sort of my word for a year or one mantra word. If one's good, three's better. Three is kind of a way to triangulate. You could use 3 words to decide how you want to drive your intentions for any one year. So let me explain the process. Real simple. Choose 3 meaningful words, and I'll get to why I mean meaningful, but choose 3 meaningful words that guide your decision-making process to build a better year for yourself. These are the rules. Very simple. Meaningful meaning, don't use a phrase like play the game. The is a wasted word. You want 3 useful words. In 2006, the first year I did this, the first word I picked was ask. Make sure I'm asking lots of questions. Ask for help. Ask for the opportunity. Ask. Word number 2 was do. Just do things. Go out and do the stuff that needs doing. The third word was share. Once I learned stuff, make sure I share it with people. Make sure that I told people, here's what I did and why, and here's how it matters, and here's why it's great. Ask, do, and share. Those were the 3 words. Ever since then, I have come up with all kinds of experiences through thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people sharing with me their version of my 3 words, what worked, what didn't. And I'll give you one example. The word focus never works. Don't know why. I have seen nothing but failure every time someone chooses the word focus. It's just like the word breathe or something like that. You breathe. Focusing is just a thing you do. The word focus doesn't prompt you to focus any more than the word breathe, just seen written on a piece of paper. I mean, it'll remind you for that moment, but that's about all you get. What words can you use to guide your success? That's what you're looking for. Let me tell you my 2024 words, and I'll give you a review of how they went before I give you my 2025 words. 2024 words. The first one was fusion. And what I meant by the word fusion was take stuff that I learned, and by the process it means make sure you learn stuff. Take stuff that I learned and apply it to other areas of my life. So I start over here and I come over there, right? So that's fusion. Take something and bring it to something else. So that's fusion. The second word, apps. Instead of just going through processes and just trying to create it on the fly all the time, make basically like an application. Make a process that I'm going to repeat. Now, we've called these action stacks for years and years. Project plans could be like an app. Basically just any, like for instance, every Monday, set agendas for my meetings for the week. Every Wednesday, make sure that I have this kind of a note system in place so that every time I take notes, I know where to look for the information that I want. These are apps. Put apps into play. Of my 3 words, this is the one I resisted the most. I think I made some progress, but I sure didn't get as far as I wanted. The third was pulse. So fusions, apps, pulse. Pulse meant take a pulse, meaning get information on a steady, regular time frame. Reflect, review, reflect, review. I've been doing journaling, I've been doing paper journaling, and I've been doing digital journaling for work. And what I find is that when we journal, we write a lot of stuff, but we don't go back and review it. So the concept of pulse was, now that I've got this information, am I reviewing it once a week? Am I reviewing all the stuff that I need to know things about once a week? Fusion, apps, pulse. I did pretty well. I did really great on Fusion, really great on Pulse, so on apps. I'll take it. I'll call it a successful year. So as you work to choose your 3 words, the way you ask the question to yourself is, how will this word help me make a decision in such a way that I will guide my thoughts forward? So for instance, with Fusion, if I was in a meeting and it was a difficult meeting and something bad happened and I was like, oh geez, I really got to learn that for next time, I would not just learn it, I would write it down. I would think about it. I would build it until I could really use it in some other part of my life. That was fusion. Pulse. This one changed everything for me. I would say, what decisions am I going to make my life better? Well, I was doing weekly reflections, weekly reviews. Do you think that looking at your stuff weekly, like actually going through your output of every given week for 52 weeks, doesn't make you perform differently? Whew, does it? I say this all the time. I'm going to say it to you again now. Your day is your week, is your month, is your year. That was so covered in Pulse, right? So your day is your week, is your month, is your year, covered with Pulse. It was such a good word for that. So I did a great job with that. So your words have to help you make a decision. Now, the thing is, you can send an email to me and talk to me about your words. If you're not so sure, chris@chrisbrogan.com. We can debate it back and forth. We can discuss them. I can tell you what I've learned from tens of thousands of people. By the way, I'm not selling anything. This is the thing. This video is the product. You don't have to buy anything. There's no catch at the end. It's just us talking. Let's talk about, again, phrases don't usually work super well, like remember the thing. Alliteration often doesn't work. Sailing, singing, and stinking or whatever. If you use alliteration, you're putting too much into the alliteration. It's too clever. It's too cute. It does not seem to serve. Can you change the words as the year goes on? No. So do not tie these to an action. Like, don't put down marathon if you're going to complete a marathon. Maybe the word is mileage, because that's the thing you got to do to get ready for a marathon, right? You got to build up your miles. So you cannot change them as the year progresses. So you don't want your words tied to a specific thing. The other thing that's really not a great idea, don't just write them once at the beginning of the year, say, okay, that's what I'm going to do, and then forget about them. Write them every day. Pen and paper, pencil and paper, crayon and paper. Write them every day. The act of writing is called kinesthetic learning in this case. Kinesthetic as in physical learning, applying a pen to a page. If you got a new remarkable journal or a Kindle Scribe or an iPad with a pencil, fine. But do the act of writing the word every day. Minor points for typing, especially if you maybe have some reason why you can't. But some people make this their wallpaper on their phone. That's great. Some people make a Post-it note everywhere they go. Fine, except that we have an incredible ability to make the things around us invisible from them being there for a long period of time. So I recommend not doing it that way. I think write a Post-it note if you want every day. Stick it on the monitor every day if you write it every day, because the act of daily makes it work. Your day is your week, is your month, is your year, right? So that's that. You want to hear my 3 words for 2025? Now remember, they don't have to mean anything to you. They just have to mean something to me. Your words have to mean something to you. So if you tell me one of your words is scotch, and you mean tape, and you're like, because I need to tape things together and kind of make do, it's irrefutable. I can't say to you, well, that's not a good word. It doesn't matter. It's your word, and that's what matters. So that's how you go with that. My 3 words. First one is gambit. So in chess, a gambit is kind of a risky move with the intent that the risk has an upside to it. So giving away a pawn for nothing or giving away a piece on chess is not a gambit, but sacrificing a piece so that you can gain presence and win more pieces, that's a gambit. So I do not mean the Cajun superhero played so well by Channing Tatum in Deadpool and Wolverine. I mean, and I don't mean Anya Taylor-Joy in The Queen's Gambit, although that's closer. I mean that. Now, I want to take up chess. I stole this from Rob Hatch. He said he was learning chess and getting better at it. And I thought, like a lot of things in my life, I'm good at stuff, but I'm not great at them. And that's one of them. So I'm going to get better at chess. But that's why I picked gambit instead of chess, is because it reminds me that sometimes you have to take risks, but they should be calculated and thoughtful risks, not just risks for risk's sake. Gambit. The second one is the @ symbol, home, at home. It's kind of cheating. It's the word home. But the reason I picked that is there's a meme, and it's like, I want McDonald's. We have McDonald's at home. And what they're saying in that is that, that's a thing a parent used to say, especially when you didn't quite have enough money or whatever, and the kid would want something while they're out to eat. And they'd say, no, we have the same thing at our house, but it wasn't quite the same thing. The reminder is, I have the things I need. I don't need more things. I don't need to keep buying things. None of us do, but I'm making it a real point that I have things that I can use, and I have things that I should really use more of, including myself, my body, my mind, my everything. I have it at home. Make use, make do, make it happen, right? So that's at home. Gambit, at home. The third one is event. An event reminds me that when I show up anywhere, work, an actual event, a personal experience, taking my kids out for dinner, when I show up, make an event out of the appearance. Meaning, don't make a big event out of it is a different thing. That's like saying you're too much drama or something like that. But be there, show up, be present, and make a really good experience out of the experience that's happening. Make an event. Gambit, at home, event. Those are my 3 words. And like I said, at home is kind of a cheat. It's not really 2 words. It's the at symbol. Doesn't matter. It works for me. Those are my 3 words for 2025. What are yours? Put them in the comments. I don't care. Send an email, chris@chrisbrogan.com. Whichever way you want to communicate to me, tell me your 3 words. And if you want, I can go back and forth with you on them. Or if you're like, these are it, that's my final answer, then I'm just going to be supportive of you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you all throughout this year.